Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Season 11, Episode 13, overall 563 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com, for the latest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all-electric vehicles and Cadillac vehicles as well. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, you can contact at 519-824-0210 and tell them Chris Palme sent you, or you can email the dealership at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been family run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969, and I've been a customer of theirs for the last 25 years, and they have been a main sponsor of this show for the last 3 years. I hope everyone is doing well. I can't believe it's already Thursday, July 24th, 2025. And before we bring on a guest today, some very sad news from the world of sports. I guess this pro wrestling industry. Legendary pro wrestler Hulk Hogan passed away today at the age of 71. And he's the reason, whether you liked him or not, or believed in his political views or not, Hulk Hogan was the Babe Ruth of the WWE and professional wrestling. And he was the reason why I got into pro wrestling back in the mid-'80s when Hogan took on Andre the Giant in WrestleMania 3 at Pontiac, Michigan at the Silverdome before 90,000 plus fans. And then him and Macho Man, the Mega Powers explosion in WrestleMania 5. Hogan really changed the sports industry in professional wrestling, and whether you liked him or not, deepest sympathies and condolences to his family, his friends, and to all his colleagues with the world of professional wrestling. So Hulk Hogan, dead at the age of 71. As for my guest, this is her first appearance today, and I'm looking forward to having her on. She is a teacher of 14 years who has turned into a comedian in the state of Texas, and her name is Gina Santi. She's a comedian now. She's a host, an MC, a storyteller, a game host, and was a teacher for 14 years in the state of Texas. And I'm excited to have Gina on. Good afternoon, Gina. How are you?
Hey, Chris. How are you? I'm great.
I am doing good on this hot and humid Thursday here in the Toronto area.
Okay. Yeah, it's always hot here. So it's like 95 already in San Antonio.
Never been to Texas or San Antonio, but is it a dry heat or is it a humid heat?
I don't know. Like it's a humid heat. I don't know. It can feel like both sometimes. It's horrible either way. So
I prefer fall and winter. I like fall weather and I love winter. I just find the summers, I can't speak for your part of the world, but I find the summers are getting hotter and hotter.
Yes, no, definitely they are. And earlier too. And then it's still hot in October and November here.
So how are you doing? And I want to say thank you for giving us some time out of your busy schedule to come on Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show today.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
How's the world of comedy going these days?
So it is so it's pretty busy. I'm actually very new to the scene here in San Antonio. I start from my first show, which was about 8 months ago. So yeah, I'm only 8 months in, and I am doing quite a lot right now. I put on like 3 shows, 3 showcases, and then I do an open mic. Now it's a contest every Sunday. So, and then I do my own shows that I get asked to perform in. and then I do some charity shows as well. So it's been pretty busy.
Well, congratulations. I'm going to put you on the spot here. How much do you feel that you've improved as a comedian even over the 8 months?
Well, I feel like I've improved tremendously. I started by taking workshops through the one of the local clubs here, Upstage Comedy Lounge, and I took both of their courses, and they really helped me like hone in on getting those punchlines, the strong punchlines, and getting to them quicker. Because when I first started comedy, literally I was just telling stories because I came from a teaching background. Matter of fact, I taught English. So, I'm going to be the one to put in all the adjectives and put in all the details and, just make this a long story with no punchlines. And so I learned from those classes how to, like what they say, trim the fat and get rid of unnecessary details. So I could do maybe 3 to 4 punchlines in about a minute and a half or so. So that's the goal.
Going into comedy.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear that part.
Okay, I apologize. How valuable was that training? And when you were a teacher for 14 years, how much did that experience help you with getting into stand-up comedy?
Oh, it helped a lot. So so as a teacher, obviously I had like 8 periods a day. And so just being the type of person I am, I'm kind of silly naturally. And I like to have fun with the kids. You don't want a teacher that's just gonna sit there and talk at you. You want a teacher that's interactive and engaging. And I also really love dad jokes. So I would throw in a lot of humor and dad jokes in my teaching. And I feel like I technically had like a captive audience, right? 'Cause they couldn't go anywhere. And so I would just say the same jokes like period after period and see if they, would hit right. And I would even tell the kids like in first period, hey, don't tell them my joke for second period. Don't tell your friends any of my same jokes because I would use them over and over. So it gave me a lot of time to use material. And then just teaching, I taught high school. So teaching high school gave me a lot of material for my comedy sets that I do now. I guess most of my sets are going to be teacher material, like things that have actually happened with the kids, certain kids. I don't use their names. I'll just say like this one kid, or I'll make a fake name. But I use a lot of experiences from the classroom into my jokes. So, and it's pretty fun.
We have a couple of viewers on. I have one on. His name is Robbie Schneider. He has his own podcast show in Buffalo, New York. He wanted to say hi to you and thank you, Robbie, for watching. And I have another comedian watching that's going to be on my show in the future. I want to give her a shout out. Her name is Alexi Alexander Conley. She is a comedian out of the Delaware area as well. So thank you, Alexi, for watching and for coming on my show in the future. And same with Robbie as well. And anyone watching this live stream right now has any comments or questions for me or Gina, please feel free to comment as well.
Yeah, and if and any of the comics that are watching, if you ever come through to San Antonio, like hit me up on social media, and maybe we can collaborate.
Gina, we were talking about this before we went live today. What makes the state of Texas now such a hotbed for comedy?
So, I mean, like in our city alone, I believe we have at least 60 comedians ranging from, new comics from a couple months in to like 20 plus years. And I don't know. I think the draw is, it's the South. We want to have a good time. We want to go out and have fun. But definitely with the explosion of Austin and like the Kill Tony podcast. So that being there at the Comedy Mothership and being in Austin, about an hour away from us, it's just kind of like the new, like they say, the new LA for comedy, or the new Mecca for comedy. And I mean, just being on the Kill Tony show helps a lot of people because he's very critical. So if you can make him laugh and the guest panelists laugh, then you're on the right track. So I don't know. I know a lot of comics actually move from different cities to go to Austin because of that show, because of all the mics. You can do like on 6th Street right there, on the same street as the mothership. You can do like 2 or 3 open mics in one night. So that's also a big draw, is just the stage time. There's so much stage time in Austin, now in San Antonio as well, because there are a lot of comedians that are producing shows. You have a lot of opportunity at the local club upstage. You have, and now LOL, the big club here in San Antonio, they're also giving more spotlights to local and upcoming comedians. So that's awesome too.
What are some of your I shouldn't say I guess I will say it. What are some of your favorite clubs that have you performed at so far?
So definitely, I would say my first start was at the Upstage Comedy Lounge here in San Antonio, which is also a veteran-owned and Black-owned comedy club. So that's really amazing in itself. And then I actually was privileged enough to work with a big, huge comic and producer, Irma Ruiz, and she is the owner of Mind Twist Comedy, and she put me on to a show that she does called Teachers Gone Bad, and she took me out to LA, where I was able to perform at the Laugh Factory Long Beach and the Laugh Factory in Covina. And so those were already like huge highlights for me in my comedy career, because just to be able to step on those stages was just like very surreal. I got to meet a lot of really big comedians and perform with them in the show. I mean, these are comedians who've been doing it for like 15, 20 years. They got like 200K followers. Just to be able to hang out with them, talk to them, and kind of network with them was just like a dream come true, because I really didn't expect that to happen so early on. So shout out to Irma. Thank you.
Gina, you just mentioned the word connections. How big and important is connections and networking in the world of comedy?
It's huge. I would say, like, especially when some new comics kind of say, "Hey, what are some ways to get into some shows and to kind of just get matched up with other comics and show producers?" And that's definitely the number one, is to just make those connections, and also just have a positive attitude, because some people mistake, like, okay, I'm a comedian, I'm funny, I tell jokes, put me on a show. But a lot of it is like people only want to work with people that are, positive and just fun to be around. If you're somebody like talking negatively about other comics, or like, I'm the best comic in the whole whatever, like, maybe to some people you are the best comic, but I feel like there's an audience for every comic. Like, I've noticed that every comic in San Antonio can definitely draw crowds and laughs. So I think the networking is huge. You just got to be, it's kind of like, just like any other industry, you have to be professional, and you have to put yourself out there, and you have to make those connections, and then that's kind of where things will fall in line for you. So big, huge.
Have you had stage fright on stage? Because some people can be funny in front of families and friends and coworkers, but soon as you get on a stage, you can kind of shrink in the spotlight. Have you seen that yet?
I mean, I feel like definitely in the beginning, yeah, I would get nervous. I would get those butterflies and everything, but they kind of, and it depends on the theater, the venue, or the setting, I guess. The bigger they are, probably the more nervous I am, but um I mean, it kind of goes away once I get into the groove and kind of like warm up to the crowd, and they warm up to me, and then it's kind of like we're just friends, and like we're all hanging out and everything.
Got another viewer, and she's actually a future guest of mine. Her name is D. Nicole Newman, and she is a stand up comedian as well. She wanted to say hi to you and definitely sharing with my comedian friends. So, and that's the thing about this show, too, is connecting and networking and putting people in touch with other people and in the same professions.
Yeah, I would love that. My schedule is pretty flexible, so I can travel to other cities, other states, and everything, and network, and then like return the favor as well. So if people are coming down to San Antonio or Austin or New Braunfels, hit me up, because I can tell you like the open mics that are available, stages that could use some like guest spots and things like that. So definitely add me. Gina's got jokes on all socials, and we can network.
Also, I want to say this has really changed too. Um, Comedy is no longer just in one city or one country, it's really international. How much of an impact has the internet and social media specifically had on the comedy industry in your time?
Yeah, a lot. So funny thing is, I never had social media until I started comedy. I was kind of that person that was like, no, I have no reason to post my life on the internet. So once I became a comedian, everyone told me, my mentors, like my fellow comic friends, they were like, yeah, you got to get social media, because how else are you going to build your audience? How else are you going to get people to come to your shows? And plus, you have to promote the shows that other producers ask you to be on. So how are you going to do that if you have no social media? So it is so important. I actually feel like even though I'm on social media every day, I'm still slacking, because I feel like I need to put more of my, either like my actual stand-up clips, or I need to do like little sketches and skits and things and put those out there. But it seems like I haven't had the time, or my camera's not that great either. I'm rocking with like an iPhone 8. So once I upgrade that camera, I think I'll do better with my videos. So
What are your thoughts on live streaming comedy?
I mean, it sounds like a great idea. I know with COVID and everything, that was the big thing. And now a lot of my friends are in like the metaverse, and they do like virtual rooms, and they do like the VR headsets and things. So I mean, I think it's great. I just haven't myself like gone into that realm, I guess. I do really love interacting person to person or face to face. And then after the show, when people want to take pictures and say, hey, I had a really bad day, but just coming out here and laughing or relating to a joke that I made, about relationships or parenting or something. It really feels good, and it's kind of what I thrive on. So I'm still in that arena as far as in person. But I mean, it sounds like a great idea, and it's easy. You could do, you're half in your pajamas and then a nice little top, so you don't have to do much to get ready.
D. Nicole Newman. No, I'm not a comedian, but I have friends that like to laugh. I apologize. And hey, even the guys on media make mistakes too. But I love the storytelling aspect of the show and learning from all my guests as well.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Or if D. Nicole Newman, if you come to San Antonio, I got you some front row seats.
Definitely. I wanted to ask you this too. I want to get your perspective, Gina, since you've been doing this for 8 months now. Audience sizes. What's the biggest audience you've performed in front of so far? And do you find the bigger audiences or the smaller audiences are tougher to perform in as a comedian?
Ooh, I don't really. Okay, so I think the biggest I've done is probably in the 200s, I would say. And it was like at one of the theaters, either in LA, or I did a theater here in New Braunfels, Texas. And I can't really say, because I don't know, you can get nervous in both. You can get nervous in a room of like 15 people, because it's so intimate, and it's like, if they don't laugh at a joke, it might be contagious, and other people might not laugh, I mean, maybe the joke just didn't hit very well. But then it can also be like amazing, and that whole group of 15 are just really into the show, and they laugh at every single joke. So I can't really say that there's a correlation between the size and how nervous I am about the show. I think it's every show is just like a new little experience and chapter. So it's like, I don't know, I'm just along for the ride, having fun.
Do you have any rituals or superstitions before a live performance?
No, I don't think so. The only thing I do is when I when I get ready and I put on my makeup, I do my set in the mirror as I'm getting ready. But other than that, I don't really have anything like superstitions or anything. I've seen some comedians do some things, like while I'm watching or waiting my turn to get on stage, they do some fun, cute things. But no, I haven't developed anything for myself yet.
How important is it to pick out the right outfit and be comfortable up on stage?
Ooh, that is very important, especially for the women. It's really important because I think what you wear kind of helps determine like the tone or the reception that the audience will give you. And then some of these lights are bright. They like there's this one stage, it's the light is so bright, it's like a supernova bright. I don't know. And then sometimes my, clothing can be a little on the quality is a little on the cheaper side. So it's like cheap clothes, bright lights, don't mix. So you have to be very cautious of what you put on. So a lot of the times I like to layer. I usually try to wear like a cardigan or some type of like jacket or something, pants and a long skirt or something. That's kind of my usual outfits.
What about footwear?
Oh, I mean, I know they say you shouldn't show your toes. My high school students are like, Miss, don't show your toes. Like that's not a thing anymore. You got the dogs out. But I don't know. I kind of don't really care. I mean, as long as they're like, I got a pedicure and everything, I'm good to go. But definitely in the winter, I usually wear like boots or some closed-toed shoes. But in the summers, I mean, if you don't want to see them, don't sit up front. No, I don't know.
As a comedian, how important is it to do your homework? Because every city, every club you go to, the audience is different. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on doing your homework as a comedian with your audience.
I think it's pretty important. It's kind of hard because you can't really gauge, the actual audience members that'll come into the venue. But if you kind of research the venue and maybe kind of see like the demographic that have been going and have been purchasing the tickets, then it kind of gives you a good idea. So I do find myself working in like multiple rooms with multiple like ages and different factors of demographics. So I know that some of my jokes probably wouldn't hit as strong with like younger people and maybe vice versa. Like some of the sets, because I have multiple sets, and like one set that I kind of cater to teachers may not be as funny to a room full of like younger, people in their 20s. So I think it's really important. And I know there are some comedians that would say the opposite, like your set should be able to work in all of the rooms, which also makes sense to me. But for me personally, I just really enjoy change, and I like to do different things. I find that I get bored easily. Like even when I was a teacher, like I couldn't, I would switch styles up. I would switch up, the activities and just kind of have fun and make it a new type of, I don't know, day, I guess, new event every single day. So same thing with my comedy. I just switch it up each time. So
In our world today, everybody's attention span is shrinking. When you're a comedian on stage in front of an audience, how important is the first minute of being up there on stage to get your audience into your jokes?
yeah, so the first minute is crucial. Like I guess the industry thought is that you put like your best joke, you save your best joke for last and you put your second best joke first. And so you really want to just capture their attention like in the first 90 seconds or so. So we call that the opener, and you just really want to just make them laugh. Like that's your goal. Don't waste your time talking, introducing yourself or giving background about your history or anything like that. Just say your joke and then get them to laugh, and they'll be on board the rest of the show.
Gina, for those people that are watching this live stream or on audio later, and they're interested in getting into the comedy industry, from your 8 months of being in the comedy industry, what advice would you give to some of those people from your experiences?
So I would definitely say, I mean, there's a lot. Write, first of all, just write, basically like almost journaling. And then you'll find that your jokes will start coming out of those experiences and those the perspective that only you have. Anytime something, like, definitely have journals, or if you want to do it digitally, keep it like secure, categorized in your phone, but just keep writing. And then when something does, because sometimes a joke will just pop up randomly in my head because a scenario happened at the store or something. And so same thing, I just put that joke, I have to write it down immediately. If not, I might forget it. So I put that joke in my little notebook or my phone, and then just keep working on it. Then what you do is you go to open mics, for sure. Open mics, even though you might be intimidated because the first time you get up there, nobody will laugh at your jokes, because a lot of the comedians, I mean, a lot of the audience of an open mic is just another comedian, right? So they're already busy in their notebooks, they're practicing in their head, or they're just not interested in your jokes. So they're not always going to hit, but it's good to just be on a stage, hold the microphone, have your body language, practice your body language, and then actually pronounce, speaking into the microphone, enunciating, and just conveying your jokes, even if they don't even make anyone laugh, but just keep doing it and doing it. When I first started, I think I went to open mics probably five days a week, and some of them were like 2 open mics in a night. So that those two would be probably be my most critical pieces of advice.
I have another audience member watching on Facebook. They're going to be a potential guest on my show in the future. Her name is Judge Miles. I want to say, Judge Miles, thank you for coming on, and please follow her on Facebook as well.
And I'll follow you back.
Absolutely. Hey, Gina, we talked about open mics. Have you ever done any improv so far?
Improv? No, no, not really. I haven't taken any classes for improv. I do want to, because I know that improv will help you to do like crowd work and riff off of other people's jokes, or riff in your own set. But it is something that I'm wanting to do. I do get to do a little like improv when I host open mic, because you try to make a little joke here and there between the comics, the one that's leaving and the one that's getting on stage, just to kind of keep the energy and keep the audience engaged in everything. But yeah, I want to get in there. I mean, it's just time. I don't really have a lot of time in my day, so I'm gonna figure it out though.
I have another question from you, and this is from D. Nicole Newman. Thank you for watching. Great questions, awesome answers. Have a question. How do you deal with heckling?
Heckling.
Yeah.
So knock on some wood somewhere. I actually have not ever dealt with a heckler per se. Definitely not in a paid audience. I've never had a heckler. The only thing I've ever had that kind of interrupted my set was somebody's phone went off, and I think it was their alarm, and it went off for like 3 minutes or something. And so, yeah, so I had to deal with that. But I kind of made it into a little goofy joke about thinking it was like the ice cream truck or something. But yeah, you have to just kind of riff off of it, and kind of, you might go back and forth with the customer or the audience member that's heckling. But if that were to ever happen, I mean, I practiced it, I guess, with people role playing heckling me, and I would just deal with it the same way I did with teenagers when I was a teacher. I just kind of use humor, but in a light-hearted way. I've seen comics kind of go in and dig and roast on the heckler, but I don't. That's not really my personality anyway. So I would probably just be like, "Hey, girl," like if it's a woman heckling me, I'll just be like, "Hey, girl, do you want to be on this set with me? We could do a duo. Do you want the mic too?" But I would just try to um, redirect that person's focus and whatever they're trying to do in like a funny, positive way versus negative. But so far, it hasn't happened yet. So we'll see.
I have a couple of stories. About a month ago, I was on here live, and I forgot to turn my phone off. And I have Magnum PI ringtone, so my
Okay.
guests just started laughing, and they were cool about it. And then I think a week ago, I forgot my alarm clock. I changed it from 7:30 in the morning to 7:30 at night, so it went off too. So instead of dwelling on a negative, I just basically turned it into a positive moment as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do. And I think it makes it, you know, makes it more fun. And I think like usually hecklers are going to be people that are, drunk for the most part. And like they don't realize what they're doing. So if you can just kind of like turn it into a funny experience, they'll probably be quiet after that and realize, hey, I'm, being inappropriate. So, I mean, that's really all you can do, because to me comedy is about fun and just escaping your problems, your work day. You pay like $20 for a ticket and you have to buy drinks, so it's like, let's just have fun. Like, you have fun, I'll have fun as the comic, and it'll be a great time.
To me, comedy is a cheaper form of comedy is a form of therapy, which is a lot cheaper than going to a shrink. And how much has doing comedy kind of helped your mental health, and how much satisfaction do you get out of making people smile and laugh?
Oh, that's a really good question. I love it actually. So since I was a teacher for 14 years, that's you have to be professional. Those are 60-hour work weeks. Those are dealing with all the stressors from your administration, the politics behind teaching, and then you had to teach the kids and then be an advocate. And unfortunately, now with the shootings and everything, you also had to literally be a bodyguard. So like all that just kind of started taking a toll on me, and it was just like kind of too much to handle. So I was like, I got a job at the comedy club upstage, and then I saw everyone having such a good time. I was like, let me try getting on stage and doing open mics and comedy. And then once people started laughing and like having those conversations, hey, you made my day just by coming out here and watching your set. Oh my God, girl, I related to that. I can't believe you're saying what I'm thinking. So like things like that, just I don't know, it's just so euphoric that it's like I may not make as much money as I did as a teacher, but I'm so much happier. Like if you ask any of my family members and my friends, like they'll just say that, this is it. Like this is all I'm gonna do for now, because it's so much better on my mental health. Like I still love the students, don't get me wrong. The students were the best part of my job, but everything else that came with teaching was just too much. So I'm like definitely happy. Yeah. Definitely like therapy. So for sure. But we're all having a good time.
I can kind of relate too. I'm making less money doing this than my other career, but I am so much happier. And this is
Right?
something, and the word I'm looking to describe, and this applies to you, just talking to you, Gina, is passion. Whatever you do in life, and now I speak to high school kids in this area
Yeah,
during the school season once a month about careers, and I tell them education is not just in a classroom, but it's lifelong. And also, you don't have to pick one career when you're a teenager and stick with it the rest of your life. You can have two, three, four careers in life.
exactly. And same thing. So now I find myself having more time to still give back to the community. We do in San Antonio, there are a lot of like benefit shows. We've done something with Upstage called Comedy for the Good. I've partnered with other organizations where we've done like charity shows. We helped with it was called Period Palooza, and it was helping young ladies get sanitary products when they were maybe couldn't afford it. So just being able to do those charitable shows or probably better than getting paid to do a show, because it's like combining everything that I love, like helping people and making them laugh. And so it's like it's a win-win. I also get more time since I'm not, working 60 hours a week. I have time to volunteer. So I'm part of the Red Cross as well. And then
Awesome.
I'm doing some other stuff where I'm trying to organize some more charity shows throughout the rest of the year. So it's pretty cool. It's a really good life actually.
Can you tell us a little bit about your role with the Red Cross, and also I forgot. I should have wrote this down. You wrote with Red Cross, but what makes a good comedian these days in 2025?
So I guess maybe I'll go with the Red Cross. So right now it's just new. I'm still kind of because unfortunately we had some flooding here
Yes.
in both San Antonio and in Kerrville, and there was just a really tragic loss of life, over 100, including a lot of children from some summer camps. So there was a need for help out there in Kerrville. So they kind of put out these mass emails about who wants to help out. And I was like, hey, I got a lot of time during the day, Monday through Friday, basically, because my shows are at nighttime. So I was like, in Kerrville is about an hour. So I'm going to just sign up. And so I've signed up. I've only done like 2 classes. You have to take classes before you can go out. So that's where I'm at now. But I have some schedules where I'm going to go out there and help with like, it's like a clothing store for the victims who have lost everything, and so that they can go and get some items and everything to help replenish their closets and everything. But transitioning to the comedian side, personally, I mean, everybody has their own view on what makes a good comedian. I okay, so I would say that I got really lucky because I also used to be a really big comedy audience member or customer, and I would go to all these places and just enjoy comedy, right, as a fun night out. So becoming a comedian, I've seen so many different styles, right? You have people who talk about darker things. You have people who so the darker comics is like they're saying stuff that you probably wish you could say, but you don't feel comfortable. You could lose a job about it. So that's how it's relatable. You have like maybe like roast comics who, you kind of vibe with them because they're so funny and they're able to roast, like celebrities and politicians and things like that. You have those, comics that are kind of like middle of the road that talk about, family life, parenting, marriage, things like that. So that's super relatable. But I think just a good comic is someone who is able to just connect with the audience and make them feel good, make them laugh for those hour and a half, or 90 minutes, and just make them forget about like all the drama in their lives. So that's all I can think of, really.
For those people that were affected by the flooding in Texas, since you're with the Red Cross and they want to help out with an online donation, would it be redcross.com, I believe, in the States?
Yeah, it's gonna be .org, but yeah,
.org, okay.
definite, yeah, redcross.org. But we have a lot of different organizations that are helping with Kerrville's loss and everything. So you could just Google like how to help, how to donate. Definitely look for .orgs at the end, so you're making sure you're donating to a reputable organization. But redcross.org is perfect. They'll take monetary donations. They're also taking blood donations as well, especially in different states. In San Antonio and Kerrville, Red Cross doesn't actually use they're not using their own blood donation centers. They use the blood bank of San Antonio. So if you're in San Antonio, you can also donate blood through the blood bank. But yeah, definitely just get on their website if you want to help too. We can go carpool together, just to help out and everything, save some gas money. But
It's important to give back and help others.
yeah, for sure. Definitely. I feel it feels so good to help people. So
Gina, before we show your video clip, do you have some upcoming shows like tonight you like to promote, and maybe some fundraising shows too coming up in the future?
okay, yes. So definitely I have so tonight we have a new show that we're starting once a month. It's at the Hangar on Broadway here in San Antonio. We're going to have a bunch of really funny comics. We have this newcomer. He actually won an award for being newcomer of the year. His name is Bill Williams. Super hilarious. He's actually like my comedy buddy. We kind of started together, and he's just been making big strides here in San Antonio. We have Josh Gideon, we have Nick Martin, we have Mikey Fahey, and then our headliner is going to be Patrick Christopher. And so it's going to be a fun show, 8 to 10 tonight at the Hangar. I also have another show coming up Sunday at Upstage Comedy Lounge. And that one, you can get free tickets if you go to.
Free tickets.
Yeah, free tickets.
Oh, I'm on my way.
Free tickets. Yeah, free tickets. If you use code 4, capital 4, the culture. So FORTHE culture 3, because there's 3 different ones. Basically it's called a comedy of cultures, and so all the comics represent a different ethnicity, and they kind of tell jokes based on their upbringing. And so since I'm Filipino and Samoan, I'm going to be telling jokes about from my mom's perspective, and she has an accent, so I'm gonna let y'all in on my mom's accent and things like that, and just kind of what it's like being a Filipino Samoan in San Antonio, Texas, and how we're relatable to Mexican Americans and things like that. So that's this Sunday at Upstage, 7:30. We also have I have a lot of shows actually, so it would be better to follow me on my social media or inbox me if you have any questions.
How can they do that?
So on all social, well, I'm only on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok right now at Gina's Got Jokes. So Gina Santi, Gina's Got Jokes, and I'm pretty much on there every day. So and then we have some of the charity shows coming up as well. Got a children's camp coming up on Saturday where we teach younger kids 7 to 14 like the basics of comedy, improv, thinking on the spot, playing a bunch of comedy games, like one word story. They get to act out. They have props and they do a set for their parents at the end. So that's pretty cool as well. But yeah, the schedule this week is pretty big. And then I have a show at LOL on August 2nd as well for the Teachers Gone Bad.
As a comedian, how important is it to have a work-life balance? Because I've talked to some other comedians that have been in it a long time, and they said it's important to have a balance because you can easily get burned out in the comedy industry, just like any other career.
Yeah, so definitely. So it is ironic that comedy is all fun and games and laughs and everything. But when you do, especially I've been producing shows, so I've been putting shows together. I have to find the lineup, ask the comics, utilize the budget, create the flyers and market and everything. And so that does get time consuming where you're like, man, I can't get a break from and then you're also performing. And then, I also work at the comedy club. So it's like all of that is almost like my whole life is comedy, and so sometimes I do need to take a break. The other day I got a massage, so that was pretty cool. I'm going to take a little vacation with my family, little staycation coming up soon where I'm turning off all comedy. And so, yeah, I think it just like every job, it's important, or else you're going to start turning something you love into something that you really, may not like as much.
Do you have any plans to perform internationally in the future? And what are some of your favorite places that you've been to vacation-wise?
I would love to, definitely. I have a cousin that lives in London, so I'm hoping that one day I can, even if I just go over there and do open mics, that'll still be an experience. But yeah, anytime I travel, the goal is to try to do comedy somehow, either try to get a guest spot with, maybe somebody I've networked with, or do some just open mics and just kind of see the audience out there. Traveling, well, when I was a teacher, my husband and I would travel every month to some destination. So I would say probably our favorites would have been, I think Jamaica and the Bahamas. I love anything tropical. So anything with the palm trees and the beach, those are my favorite spots.
We don't have palm trees here in Canada, but we do have beaches. Have you thought about Canada at some point too, like Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been out there to Toronto before when I was younger, but as a comedian, I haven't had a chance yet. But I would love to. My sister's actually in the New York, New Jersey area, so I think I would love to make a little run where I do something in New York, and then we take a little day trip or spend a couple of days out in Canada, and that would be great. So any Canadian shows or producers?
Niagara Falls, Ontario. Niagara Falls, Ontario. They have a number of comedy clubs, including Yuck Yucks too.
I know, and I saw that, and I've seen some postings about some festivals out there and everything, but like I never really submitted for those. So
Okay, well,
next
if you
year.
ever come up to the Toronto area or whatever, let me know, and I'd be happy to see you perform live.
Yeah, I will definitely, definitely.
Before we play your video here, what's the average length of one of your comedy shows right now, time wise?
So I think the average is about an hour and a half for most places. I've done some shows for just an hour, just because that's what the owner or the client wanted. So they were like, "Well, we just want it kind of short because we really want them to eat more or drink more, the drinks that we provide." So about hour to an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
All right, and I'm going to play this little clip that you sent me.
Okay, I forgot.
Hopefully, you can hear the audio. I played a clip yesterday with one of my guests, and they could see the picture, but they couldn't hear the audio. So hopefully, you can hear the audio here. Just 1 second.
Now it's just a sobriety test. Because these kids are coming to school high, y'all. They are coming to school high. That is why it's called high school.
Yeah.
Nah, but it may sound like I'm snitching on these kids, right? Like I'm snitching on them. You know what they say about snitches, right? Snitches get results. Okay, they get results, right? Okay, somebody has to start it off, you know. Hopefully one day we can go ahead and nip this problem in the bud. You know. No, really.
That's funny. Okay, that's hard to watch sometimes. Like, you watch your own stuff, it gets like a little cringy, but I mean, that was a good night. We had a lot of fun that night. You could see it, the dad jokes kind of really that's kind of my thing. I like some corny dad jokes sometimes, but it's funny because they hit, because they're so simple. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the 50th year of Saturday Night Live?
That's awesome. So to be honest with you, and I may get some hate for this, but I'm not super big into like sketch comedy as much as I am into stand up. But I do love SNL, and I do love and appreciate like everything that it's done for comedy with and the comedians and having all the guest spots and the musicians. So that's always awesome. But stand up is kind of more of what I love. I'm actually, somebody just asked me to be in a sketch group with them, and I'm gonna try it, but I'm not the best actor, so we'll see what happens. I laugh in like the first 10 seconds because I can't take myself seriously. So I'll try though.
Have you thought about going into acting as well? Because there are a number of comedians that have transitioned from being an actor and actress into comedians, or going from comedy into being an actor and actress.
So I see it, but I don't think I'm really there yet. Like I said, I took theater arts in 6th grade, and I was horrible. So I would make my little team fail all the time. So they actually had to move me to the other side, to the backstage technical part of it, where I did the lights and pulled the little curtain, because I would laugh. I couldn't do it. I couldn't act. So yeah, probably not, but who knows?
And I have another question from you, from my guest that's going to be on my show in the future, Alexis Alexander Conley out of Delaware. She wants to know, do you find it hard to watch your own set?
Of course, yes. I really don't like doing it at all, and a lot of my friends are the same way. I don't know what it is. It's just because you're not used to seeing, your own face, and then the jokes come out of your mouth, I guess. But yeah, it's really hard to watch, but I know it's necessary. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll watch it like 3 weeks later or something, or I'll just listen to it and listen for the laughs. And if a joke didn't hit as hard as I thought it would, and there weren't as many laughs as I would have wanted, then I'll try to revise that joke. Or vice versa, if a joke that I didn't think hit so well actually, was hilarious, I guess, then I'm like, okay, I'll keep that. But I couldn't do that unless I listened to it in the car or something. But yeah, it's hard to watch. It's definitely hard to watch anything that I do on like visual way at least.
How important is having a strong mindset and having a strong support system too? Because in any career, you're going to get your successes, but you're also going to get your setbacks. I don't use the word failure. Basically, I use the word no as a temporary setback. How important is that as a comedian?
First of all, I like that. I love that way of thinking. It's very important because, like I said, first time you do an open mic, most people aren't really gonna laugh. But it doesn't mean that your material is bad. It just means that they're probably doing their own thing. So don't give up. Yeah, definitely a lot of either like not necessarily it's not rejection, but it's kind of rejection when like an audience doesn't laugh at your jokes. But you just gotta keep going with it. It's like almost like probability. Like I've seen one joke do really well in one room, and then 2 days later that same joke is crickets, and then a next day that same joke is like fire. So I don't know. I can't really say that saying taking no, you can never take no for an answer, basically, in comedy or otherwise. Just like you said, use it as like a temporary setback or like a temporary like indicator, I guess, that you got to work on something.
Can you tell us a little bit, besides being a comedian and a host, a little bit about your MC work and a game host? And as a game host, what are some of your favorite roles that you've done so far as a game host?
Yeah, so like first of all, with the emceeing, all those years as a teacher, I actually, so funny fact is that I used to rap when I was in high school, and
Wow.
so I can carry that little
Can you do
talent.
one now?
Yeah.
Can you do a
I
rap
mean,
song?
I could, but no. I have a rap joke in my set. So maybe one day, but yeah, I rapped, and so because of that little talent, I guess I would bring like pep rallies and different little shows to the schools that I taught. So I would do those hosting there. I would do the host there, an MC basically. And then the game host, I kind of, well, it was like maybe a year or two. I've done like different types of games. Like I did like karaoke a little bit, and then I did the well, there's a game that I can't really say because I signed a little like contract about not talking about it too much. But let's just say it was kind of like a trivia game, but a little edgier. I just got booked, I guess, to do a weekly show. It's going to be a bingo format, but it's going to be like a funny bingo format. It's going to be called Ain't Your Grandma's Bingo. And so it's going to appeal to both, men and women, because I saw that there's a lot of like bingo catered to mostly women. So I'm going to have bingo catered to everybody, where the prizes are, really fun and functional and useful things that people would want to win. And let's just say there's also a crybaby consolation prize. So there's going to be some crying and some dancing to get some prizes. So some different little format that we're going to start, and I'm hoping to actually turn that into a business where I can hire other comedians so that they can host the show at other venues in the city. So it helps build up, income for those comics as well. So yeah, that's in the works right now.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here because you already answered my one question about some fun facts. Do you have a favorite karaoke song?
Favorite karaoke song? I do like the Fugees from back in the day. The Fugees, anything by the Fugees, and actually anything by Beyonce. So in my head, I think I can sound like Beyonce, but but I know when it comes out, it's like no Beyonce. I don't know, but it's but it's still fun, right? It's karaoke. Who cares if you can sing or not? But yeah, those are my go-to, I guess. Anything on those playlists of those musicians, the Fugees, Ready or Not is probably my favorite one because you get to rap and sing. So that's probably one of my favorites.
What was the last concert that you went to?
The last concert, I just went to it. Who was it? Wow, it was a while apparently. But I like hip hop music. So it was this artist named JID, and he's a rapper. He's with a label with J. Cole. So that's probably the last one. I took my son to that one because he's one of his favorite artists, and that was pretty cool to go, with my teenage son to a rap concert. so that was, I think that was the last one. I would say. Maybe Wu-Tang, I'm not sure.
Now, if Hollywood ever made a movie of yourself, which actress would you want to play you?
I don't know, because I don't even really. Unfortunately, I don't really see a lot of representation for Filipinas and Samoan people. I can't even think of one off the top of my head, because I would want them to at least be Asian, but I don't know. Like I can't even think of any right now. I'm not sure. Probably a new person, I guess. Give somebody new a chance. So I don't know. I don't think anybody wants to make a movie of my life though, because it's not that interesting. So, but yeah, I really wouldn't know. I don't see too many. We need more. So if you're an actor, an actress that's, Filipino, Samoan, like, let's go.
You still like going to the movie theater?
No, not really. So, not such a fun fact is I fall asleep a lot in the movie theater. So I feel like I'm wasting money if I go. So I'll pay like $12 for a ticket, and then maybe an hour into the movie, I'm knocked out and probably snoring. So it's just not a good look. I have a really nice couch that, the reclining and all that, with the little cup holder and the cooler by the console. So we just stream everything now and just sit as a family. We barely go to the theaters now. So
I still like to go. I haven't gone in 3 years, but the new Superman movie, I want to go see. And I always like to have the popcorn and a soft drink when I'm in the movie theater.
no, yeah, actually, yeah, because we can't ever like duplicate the movie theater popcorn, no matter which brand we try. So yeah, I mean, I could see that. I think the fact that I fall asleep kind of just, I don't know. I might need to take some energy pills or some soda or something and try to watch it. I do want to see that Fantastic Four that's coming out.
It's coming out too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Since before we wrap this up, what is your favorite food and attraction in the state of Texas?
So food, I am not picky. Like I don't know. Same thing. I love everything. I think that's a little bit of a problem that I have. In Texas though, our tacos definitely, take precedence over anything. Before I moved to San Antonio, I had no idea that we have a taco called barbacoa, and it's a very delicious breakfast taco, very fattening, but who cares? And I never had one until I got here, and so now that's like my favorite. I just had one literally. Well, did I have one? I had part of one today. And so that's like my favorite breakfast. And I found out that in other states they don't really have breakfast tacos, so that's like a Texas thing. So people definitely need to come to Texas for that. As far as attractions, in Texas, I mean, we have our standard theme parks and everything, but I really like escape rooms. So that's like the nerdy part of me coming out. But I love escape rooms. My husband and I and my family, we've probably done, I don't know, over like 60 of them or something in the span of like 3 or 4 years since we've discovered them. Maybe more than that, I'm sure. But I really love escape rooms. They're so fun. I wish they were a little cheaper, but I love like solving problems and the mystery of it all. So that's probably one of my favorite things to do.
And finally, Gina, as we wrap this up, this is a segment on my show. It's called Ask the Host CDP Myself, a question segment. Do you have a question for me to put me on the hot seat?
Yeah, I guess I just want to know, like, what made you, I know you kind of told me earlier, but what was like the catalyst for you wanting to do this, transitioning from, I think you said like you said security or IT, but like what like sparked your interest where you're like, okay, I'm going to post streaming videos and interviews of all, these different sectors. And just, I mean, because I see it takes a lot of work because you're on all these different platforms. So like, what was that moment or catalyst for you?
About 6 years ago, I did some volunteer work with a basketball team. They needed me to do some camera work. Had never done that in my life. They showed me what I needed to do. At the end of the game, they actually paid me for it. Then they referred me to a local TV company to do some camera work. And then during the pandemic, I told one of the producers, and he kind of snickered at me. I said, I'm going to start up a podcast because I got a broadcasting bug, and ever since then I've been doing it, and I've been on a radio station for 2 years. Unfortunately, the owners of the station downsized the station, so I want to prove to the radio industry and to other people that being 53 is not a liability, and you can self teach yourself into a new career. You have to have the mindset and belief and the passion. And I'm a late starter in doing this, but this is something I really love doing, and the storytelling aspect and listening and learning to my guests.
Okay, and that's really cool. Yeah, so that's awesome. I feel like I'm in the same boat. You know, I started comedy late. You know, a lot of people start in their 20s, but I mean, I feel like obviously the life journey that I took and that you took is what got us to where we are. So I mean, it kind of happened for a reason. But no, this was really fun. I really appreciate you even asking me to do this. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you coming on, and it's the guests that make the show. And I've been very lucky. And I tell anybody in any career, it takes time. And the first 5 months I did this, I couldn't get any guests on, but I kept working and working, and now I've had nearly 600 guests on here, and everybody has a unique story to tell.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Yeah, I loved it, and then it was so cool to like interact with the watchers as well. So
Yes. And I love doing that as well. And as we wrap this up, where can my audience again find you on social media? And what's the best way of contacting you? And just mention your upcoming live performance tonight.
yes, so I have all my well, like I said, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are. I mean, I'm not actually on Twitter. Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm at either Gina Santi or Gina's Got Jokes. So GinaSGotJokes. So Gina's Got Jokes. Definitely, I mean, Messenger or anything like that is the best way to contact me. I'm actually getting a website designed by my daughter. She knows all that stuff, and so she's going to create a website for me so that if anyone wants to contact me for bookings or just even, I'm not gonna lie, I love chatting about comedy. So if you just have, questions, or if you want to talk comedy, you can hit me up, and most likely I'll get back to you within the day. But or if you're here in San Antonio, New Braunfels, Austin area, reach out, and maybe we can collaborate, or I could put you on a show or something like that. But yeah, Gina's Got Jokes.
Merchandise coming, t-shirts and hats too.
I'm working on it. I don't know if I'm quite like, if anybody wants to wear anything that I have on their body yet or anything. I gotta come up with some like really good catchphrases and things, and then it'll come up. But I'm not sure. I don't know. Eventually, I'll try to figure out something.
How did you come up with this logo that I have on the background here?
Oh, that's actually my daughter. My daughter did that. My daughter has a degree in business and marketing and social media marketing. So she came up with all of that. She's a genius with all of that. So my family, like you said, the support system, my family's been amazing. My husband's been super supportive. He thinks I'm the funniest person that he knows. My daughter has been helping with like the social media marketing and all that branding. And like my son, he's still a teenager, but he's giving me a lot of material, so that's how he's helped. A lot of mom and son material, like take out the trash type of stuff. So
I might have to contact your daughter about branding, because I'm kind of looking to do some new rebranding of my show.
yeah, she's really good at like coming up with different logos, and just I don't know, she knows all this lingo that I don't
Graphics.
know. Yeah, all
Graphics.
that
Yeah.
stuff, like the
I'm no
banner.
good at graphics. I'm
Yeah,
no good at graphics.
she knows.
And as we wrap the show up, I want to say thank you to Rob Schneider, D. Nicole Newman, and Alexis Alexander Conley. who is a stand-up comedian in Delaware, for watching this show. And Gina, I want to say thank you so much for giving us an hour of your time, and continued success in your comedy career. And I will send you the full video, the audio, and some reels and clip later tonight. And hopefully one day you'll be able to perform in the Toronto area as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, definitely. I'll let you know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gina, and have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
And don't break a leg tonight.
Okay.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for coming on.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. All right, guys, that wraps up season 11, episode 13, overall 563 of Live with CDP Sports Entertainment Talk Show. Again, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership here in Guelph. And I want to say thank you to my guest, Gina Santi, for coming on here today as well. And before we wrap up this show, guys, I have another announcement to make. The next Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by BarryCullen.com, is going to be on Friday, July 25th, which is tomorrow, at 1 p.m. Eastern, with my special guest, Lanita Johnson, an actress, writer, filmmaker out of the USA. So Lanita Johnson will be my next guest on Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show tomorrow, Friday, July 25th at 1 o'clock Eastern. And this busy man has another show tonight, the Argo Bounce Podcast Show, episode 6 tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 on the West Coast, with my co-host Nick Small and I, and we're going to break down the Argos' latest loss to the Montreal Alouettes, 26-25 last Thursday, and Nick and I are going to preview the Argos Winnipeg game coming up this Saturday, July 26th at 7 o'clock at BMO Field. You can get tickets at argonauts.ca or watch the game on TSN or TSN 1050 on the radio with Mike Hogan. And yours truly will be at the game as a freelance media member. So make sure you check out my social media pages for pictures, videos, and some pre and post game interviews. And Nick will be there as a season ticket holder. So if you're a fan of the Toronto Argonauts, fan of the CFL, the Canadian Football League, check out the Argo Bounce podcast show tonight at 8 o'clock, 5 on the West Coast. And I have another 3 more Live with CDP Sports Entertainment Talk shows next week as well. And I want to say thank you to all my wonderful guests for coming on. And again today, Gina Santi for coming on, a stand-up comedian, MC, game host out of Texas as well. And before we wrap up this show, guys, as always, Barry Cullen Chevrolet right now has an employee pricing event at Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership. A 2025 Silverado LD ZR2. You can get up to $11,300 off MRSP on select models. More details at barrycullen.com or drop by the dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall and tell them that Chris Pame sent you as well. And as we wrap up this show, guys, again, you can follow Gina on these social media platforms. I think I left the wrong one, so I apologize. I didn't update my graphic. So Gina is on Facebook, and she's on Instagram as Gina Jokes. So I apologize for that, but I want to say thank you to Gina again for coming on here again. And Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is live streamed on these platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and now available on Instagram. You can check out my website at beacons.ai/Chris D. Pame. And again, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership here in Guelph. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars or live streaming, podcasting webinars, check out StreamYard.com. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, again, is on these audio platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasters, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, Tuned In, and YouTube Music, and Good Pods. And as we wrap up this show, guys, if you're looking to adopt a pet, check out the Cambridge District Humane Society, 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. Telephone number 519-623-7722, extension 0, or visit their website at cambridgehumanesociety.org. All the animals that are up for adoption, their profiles are on cambridgehumanesociety.org. And if you're looking to volunteer there as a dog walker like I do twice a week, go to cambridgehumanesociety.org, click on the volunteer application, and get the process started. They do wonderful work down there at the Cambridge Humane Society. And also, if you're looking to donate dog food, pet food, please do so. And they're always looking for bedding, cat litter, dog treats, cat treats, gift cards to Dollarama store. So whatever you can help out with, they would greatly appreciate it. And they do a wonderful job in making sure these pets get adopted into good families and good homes at the Cambridge and District Humane Society as well. And as we wrap up this show, guys, again, I want to say thank you to Gina Santi for coming on here today, and looking forward to my show tomorrow at 1 o'clock with Lenita Johnson, an actress, a writer, and filmmaker from the States. So I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to the Argo Bounce podcast show tonight as well. And again, some sad news today from the world of professional wrestling. Hulk Hogan dead at the age of 71. And for Major League Baseball, the Red Hot Blue Jays take on the Detroit Tigers tonight at Comerica Park. It's going to be Eric Lauer against Reese Olson in the first of 4 games. The Blue Jays right now are ahead of the Tigers for best record in the American League. And it's a huge series between the Jays and Tigers at Comerica Park. And the Tigers have lost 9 out of 10 games, and they really need to turn it around in this series. And the Blue Jays have been playing really good baseball for the last 2 months as well. And we have CFL action tonight, guys. After the Argo Bounce podcast show with Nick and I is over at 9 o'clock, tune into the CFL on TSN at 9 o'clock for tonight's matchup between the Montreal Alouettes, 4-2, taking on the Calgary Stampeders at 5-1. And of course, we've got the National Football League back with training camp as well, including the Buffalo Bills and the Super Bowl world champion Philadelphia Eagles. So training camp and preseason will be starting in a couple weeks. Maybe not even a couple weeks time. So that's about it. Again, thank you to Gina Santi for coming on here today, and to Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership as my sponsor. And anyone out there that's looking to advertise your business on live streaming like my talk show and my media company, you can email me at cpalme19@gmail.com or DM me on my social media pages if you're interested in getting your business advertised on this show as well. I hope everybody has a great afternoon, and we'll see you back here tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 on the West Coast, with Nick Small and myself for the Argo Bounce podcast show. Have a great afternoon, everybody, and thanks again for watching and listening to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership here in Guelph.